Hello and welcome to the webinar this evening. My name is Rachel Davidson. I'm the product manager here at the Scouts. This evening we are going to be talking through our beta website and the work that we've been working on in terms of the website and our program planning tool. Unfortunately, Graham, who was going to join us, hasn't been able to make it this evening due to a few technical issues. So apologies, you are stuck with me. Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this evening. So firstly, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what it is that we're trying to achieve and our strategy behind the work that we're doing. We'll then go into a little bit about what a beta is for those of you who are not in that space. We'll have a little bit of a show and tell of our beta website, and then I'll explain a little bit more about the program planning tool. Then we'll go into showing you the program planning tool itself, and then there'll be time at the end for any questions that you might have. So thank you very much for joining us once again. So our beta website is and our program planning tool content has been really focused on some key areas that we want to do to ensure that we had for the membership, and primarily we want to ensure the organisation has a really strong online presence to make sure that we've got the content that our members need to be able to do their roles, and also to provide that content to a more external audience as well. We wanted to make sure that you've got the functionality that you need to be able to do your role, and we have been focusing on the program planning tool as our initial tool that we've been working on. We wanted to make sure that the user experience that you're receiving through that digital platform was of a high quality, and we also wanted to ensure that the web platform that we're creating is sustainable. So making sure that we're creating it in a way where we can keep it up to date, where we can make sure that it's meeting the needs of the people who are using the website. And ensure that we can reduce down the number of different microservices that we have got going on around the organisation. We've been focusing on what you're seeing on the screen is our vision and our goals for the beta website. So making sure that it's useful and simple and easy to use, and it provides that one definitive source of information about Scouting. And then everything else has then come from there. In terms of our work that we've been doing to focus our energy to get to a place where we have a beta version of the website, we have focused on new club leaders as our first audience, along with that external audience. So what we have been developing is the version of the replacement for scouts.org.uk. So that's our front-facing website as it currently stands. And then, as I mentioned before, the program planning tool, so focusing on the new club leaders. If we can just jump ahead, if that's all right. Thank you. So yeah, so I've mentioned a few times that we'll be releasing releasing the website as a beta. And for those of you who are not au fait with that term beta, beta is just basically a working version of our new services based on prototypes. So we've been prototyping the whole time. So on the screen you see a couple of our early prototypes. We've been prototyping as we've been going. We've been testing with members, and we've been really getting to grips with some of those key journeys. And as you can see, the prototypes that you can see are really focused on the Cub Scout section. We've got to a place where we would like to have the beta website available to our members, and we're getting very, very close to that. What we want to ensure that there is enough content in there to challenge our prototypes. So we have been focusing on some key areas, which we will start to show you in a moment. So yeah, so I think we can click through. Yep, so we've been focusing on our homepage, looking at making sure we've got some ways to manage our news stories, and also giving a clear layout for our new front door, as it were, and making sure that we are positioning ourselves at the right place in the market, making sure we've got a new, fresh and up-to-date version of that homepage. And then, as I say, we've been then focusing on Cubs. What you can see on the screen is really aimed at parents, so it gives them the really practical and information that most of us just know about scouting in a really clear and upfront way, to be able to help them understand what Cubs is and what it means to be part of scouting, and also, you know, where to sew the badges on the uniform, for example, and that real practical information. We've also been focusing on making sure all of the badges for all of the sections are into the new beta website. So we've been putting a lot of effort into the Cub badges particularly, but what you will see when you do access the website is all of the content for all of the other sections is there, but it's not as quite as polished as the Cub stuff that we've been working on. We've got all of the Cub activity badges and awards in there, along with all the other sections. And as you can see, they're a much more consumable way. Behind the scenes, behind what you see on the screen, there's been a lot of effort put in behind by the development team to really make sure that the requirements are put in the background as individual requirements, which makes it much easier for us to then create services like our program planning tool to work with those requirements. So if we change the requirement in one bit of the website, it will sweep through them and change it in across all of them without having to go through and constantly tweak and change. That links back to the sustainability element that I mentioned earlier. So yeah, so we're just going to pause there to reflect a little bit on the program planning. What we wanted to deliver with the program planning was really to help new leaders get up to speed with the program very quickly. We really wanted to help all leaders with ideas for their for running the badges and the activities that they find, particularly for badges they find really difficult to deliver. And we wanted to ensure that leaders are retained in scouting, and they have support in planning their program and make it a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable. We want to ensure that young people complete their top award, and make sure that the program that they're completing does cover all of the requirements. And what we've been working on is we've essentially created a beta version of a program planning tool. We have created activities for each of the requirements for the Cub badges, and we started that off with around 270 activities for the Cub badges. And we have made sure that the activities that we've built are youth-shaped, they're accessible, and they're safe. We've taken an outcome-led approach. We really want to make it really clear what the skills are that the young people are developing, and how, as Cub leaders, in this case, they can reflect after the activity about the skills that those young people have learnt, but also to be able to have those conversations with parents and other external people. We're really keen to make sure that we're providing new leaders with a ready-made offering. So we will have a 2-year ready-made program, along with a couple of terms and some ready-made sessions. And there will be an ability to for leaders to be able to build their own programs and be able to shape the program themselves as well. So we'll be launching the Cub content in the next few weeks. The Beavers we're aiming to get done by the end of the year, and then the Scouts by the end of 2020. So hopefully we can start showing the program planning tool. Yeah, so we've been building it in a really simple and easy to use way, completely in line with our new brand. So hopefully we can just click through. Yeah, so we've got a session that you can see on the screen, and we've really been focusing on a concept called term goals to really help those new club leaders focus on getting the top award and also running activities that help achieve badges and awards. And then once you picked your activity, you can either do that via the term goals or via the find, or you can create your own. You can then add that to the session by clicking that black button down the bottom there saying add to session, and it starts to create a calendar of the activities as you can see on there. What we didn't quite show you there, but you will get to see when you start to play with the beta version of the tool, is that all of the activities are bring through all of the information from the activity page. So all of the equipment lists and all of the resources all get brought through into the program planning. So as a leader, you're not having to jump around. We've also got a term level in the program planning tool, and that's where you can see those term goals again. You can also then add in pre-made sessions and pre-made terms, and you can also see your overview of that term. And we should also have a program level. There we go. Yep. So we've got a program level of the as well. So that's the level above the term. That's where you'll see all of your terms. You'll be able to add that two-year pre-made program that's been curated by section leaders from around the country, and you'll also be able to see the outline of all your terms that you've got, and you would also be able to swap between different programs as well in this space. Now, what I should reiterate is that this is a beta version of the website and the program planning tool. It is by all no means complete, it's by all no means finished, which is exactly what a beta means and is. We won't be closing off any of our other current services until we're in a place where we are feeling happy that we are comfortable to do so. And we will be working in a really agile and iterative way. So we will be letting you know as the community of interest, but we'll also be letting members know about big features as they're released, and we'll be working to a clear cycle, and more information will start to come out about that over the coming weeks. Finally, I just wanted to explain a little bit about how you can provide feedback. It will all be explained in the email to you if you're part of the community of interest. But essentially, the work that we've done today and the work we've done so far, and particularly over the last 4 to 5 months, where we've been actually building up our prototypes and then turning them into really clear journeys on the website. It's all been based on feedback and working with users and different user groups to understand their needs and what and their needs and use of the website and the program planning tool. And we want to continue to do that. This is just the beginning for us all. And a really important part is about providing feedback about what you see, because it will really help to shape the website and the program planning tool and any other tools that we start to build over the coming weeks and months. So there'll be 2 ways that you can do that. There will be a feedback button. So that's where you can provide your general feedback or feedback about particular features or functions that you see, whether you think they're great or whether you think they're awful. Hopefully the former. And then while we're in this phase, we will also have a report a problem button, and that's where you can report an issue. So is there a wrong image of a badge against the wrong badge? Is there a typo? Is there something that's just completely factually wrong? Or is there a bug or an issue that you found? And if you could just use the report a problem button for that. I think I have covered everything that I was hoping to explain to you all today. So it's now open for questions. There should be a Q&A box. I'm just going to see if I can open that up. 1 second. Okay, let me just see if I can get the Q&A open. Apologies, 1 second. Apologies for this. Okay, apologies. I don't believe the Q&A has been set up correctly on this webinar, so please accept my apologies for that. If you do have any questions following this webinar, please email us on the digital@scouts.org.uk, and we will do our best to reply to you as quickly as we can. I hope you found that this has been a useful whistle-stop tour on the work that we've been doing on the BETA website, and I really do hope that you will take the time to take a look at the BETA website, provide your feedback, and really help to shape the work that we're doing, and really make it all of our hard work. And really help to shape the work that we're doing. So I'm going to end it here, but thank you very much for your time and taking the time to listen, and hope you have a lovely evening.